TikTok.
I love TikTok.
I love it too. But I'm not that good at it.
It's I'm it's funny is what TikTok is. The worst thing about TikTok is the name. Like just to say like you're like what? You're a 44-year-old guy on TikTok. But the reality is same thing. I get people who reach out to me on LinkedIn who don't feel comfortable reaching out on TikTok because they don't post anything. So they're like, "Oh, hey, I saw this on TikTok, blah blah blah." Um, but it is good for it's wide open, or it was more wide. It is depending on what niche you're in. I mean, if you're going to be, a kid just dancing on there, it's going to be a challenge. But you can carve a niche for yourself, and people are finding you. But it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's not like doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun, and it's very engaging.
Yeah. How long have you been on TikTok? You've been on TikTok for a while. I think didn't we connect on TikTok originally?
We may have, well, not before I mean, lately, yeah, probably. I started, man, a long time ago. And it was really just as a goof to mess with my daughter. Like, oh, you're on TikTok? I'm on TikTok too. So look at this. Look at my TikTok dance. And then things started happening. And a guy that my buddy Eddie Gonzalez out in Phoenix, he's like, hey, I'm thinking to start posting like commercial real estate content on TikTok. And now he literally, I mean, he's in Phoenix.
Yep.
And all he does is Phoenix. Nothing else, not Scottsdale, not Mesa, not anything. Everything in Phoenix, every detail about each building, each tenant, where he's eating, everything is there. He's got about 30,000 followers, and he's getting leads like for people to sell 30,000 square foot build. Like he's getting real business from TikTok.
What's his name again?
Eddie Gonzalez.
I'm gonna look him up on TikTok after we get off of this because that's very interesting.
Yeah, he had somebody the other day fly in to meet him from somewhere like Dallas or somewhere, and just say, "I'm such a fan of yours." He's a commercial real estate agent, and I work in commercial real estate, and I want to see what you do. And they just basically showed him what he does, and yeah, that's it. But his whole thing is that, and he repurposes some stuff. He does a lot of cool drone videos, so that helps. But yeah, I love it. I think restaurants dominate on TikTok.
Yes. I think the number one, if you think of, so first of all, you have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my kids are 19, 18, and 14, and they are on TikTok all the time. And if you ask them who the most famous person they know is, it's probably going to be somebody from TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't even know who Tom Cruise is. I'm like, you know who Tom Cruise is? They're like, who's Tom Cruise? I'm like, the movies your mom always takes you to go see?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, that's Tom Cruise. Oh, that's Tom Cruise?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
That guy who jumps, he's like 80 and he runs really fast.
That non-TikToker? Yeah.
Yeah. But they are on TikTok. So if you're trying to reach younger generation anyway, they're on TikTok. And food is like so easy to produce content about food, and it goes so far.
Oh my God. I'll tell you a story. There's a restaurant here called Taco Daddy in Stanford, and they are friends of mine. He used to be part of the Fortina group, those guys. So he got this like smoke gun for cocktails that you can only get like in Spain or something. And he was just messing around with it. And they started making these smoke bubbles and putting them on top of their cocktails. And they had one where they literally just made two like martini type glasses with the smoke bubbles on top of them. And they put them together and it created one smoke bubble, and they're shooting bubbles all over the restaurant and catching them. Hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, to the point now where he's like, because of our social media presence, we're not looking to open up additional locations regionally. We can now, people know us all over the place. So we can bring this vibe to another city. Like we can go to Chicago, we can go to Atlanta, because people recognize our social media content. And I think that was like a huge eye opener for me. Yeah. Like you can, even if you're hyper local, just hammer in like your hashtag for your hometown or your zip code or your area code, hammer it on TikTok and people will find you.
Too, the other thing that 2020 taught us is that, shit could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
Where people can't come to your restaurant. And a lot of the people who own restaurants or pizzerias or local businesses are like, all right, I want to do social media, but how do I know that the customers are going to come into my area?
You sound like you've heard that question before.
Yeah, they ask that question all the time. And then I'm like, who cares, right? Like if someone is watching you and they don't live in your area, yes, ideally they're not your main customer. But in 2020, nobody could be your customer unless you mailed them something.
Right.
So all the people that I know that maintained business or grew, either that be through mailing stuff or coming up with other content that they could sell or products that they could sell, had those large followings of people who weren't just in their town. They were all
Yep.
over the world.
Yeah.
And TikTok gives you that ability. I think it's the only platform that gives you the ability to reach people all over, because then when you have an audience that's rather large, you can come up with ways to sell them stuff, and it doesn't have to be just in your restaurant.
Yeah. And it's also, it's just a matter of like, Nike makes ads to reach people all around the world, or people who don't have Nikes and do have Nikes. Like, I
Right.
want to just show you. Restaurant owners get frustrated, right? They're like, they have no idea how much time went into this dish and it didn't sell. Well, maybe if you showed me, like, take me on a video to where you got it, how you prepared it, what actually goes into it. That's the stuff. Is the behind the scenes stuff. That's what people want to see. And I think you started to see it like bubble to the surface during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that stuff to me is gold. It definitely has faded away, which is unfortunate. But I think that stuff is really cool.
I think there's still opportunity, even
Oh
though
yeah.
2020 showed people that they need to create content for social media. I still don't think enough people do.
No, I mean, it faded away in terms of people doing it. I think the
Yeah.
interest has never been higher. I personally would love to see a guy going and just. There was a restaurant here that was like, "This is our favorite dish. You guys all love it. Here are the ingredients. Here's how we're gonna make it. Oh, here are the ingredients. Boom, 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 boom." It was a cool picture of the top down ingredients, and then they said, On Friday we're gonna be on Instagram Live and we're gonna cook it, so you can get all this stuff. Shows you the brand and all stuff. And then Friday, tune in here, we're going to make it. And that's exactly what they did. And they crushed.
Yeah. That's a